Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. And I got to tell you, I've done this for many, many years. I've got butterflies tonight. I've got goosebumps because not only am I reunited with my longtime broadcast colleague, Scotty Zappa, but we are here at the Minneapolis Convention Center for a very, very special reason. The retirement match, the swan song for Jerry Lynn. And Scotty, you can feel it. You can feel the electricity in the air.
Karch, incredible. It is in the air, just like you said. We're about ready to get this first match started. What a crowd, like you said, here tonight at the Convention Center.
Absolutely packed to the rafters. Testimony to the tremendous popularity, the respect that Jerry Lynn has garnered over the years. They are out in droves, and congratulations to Heavy on Wrestling and promoter Dave Seabeck, who I know has worked so hard for so many months to put this one together. It is going to be a great, great card, and all I can say to you is I'm glad you and I are sitting back here in the far catacombs of the Minneapolis Convention Center. I'm not sure this is the night that we want to be right up in ringside.
Definitely not. You know what? And I can almost guarantee there's going to be at least one time where we're headed for the hills tonight.
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Very interesting six-man tag team match to kick things off. I'll talk a little bit about the combination of Aaron Corbin, John Johnson, and Ariya Daivari, three mainstays on the independent wrestling scene here in the state of Minnesota, throughout the upper Midwest. Not exactly crowd favorites, I can tell you that. Johnson and Corbin have wrestled extensively as the misfits, and of course, Ariya Daivari, by leaps and bounds, he is becoming one of the top wrestlers, not on the indie scene, I'm talking about in the country.
He has been. And these three guys, you talk about Johnson, Corbin, and Daivari, these guys, they're not going to lay down for Perry Saturn and the rest of the crew out there. They're going to take it to them. Young guys who are hungry, my money might be on them tonight.
Well, no question about it. I mean, this is the showcase. This is the opportunity. You're on a marquee show like this, honoring Jerry Lynn, and this one is getting national recognition, I tell you that. On the internet, on the websites, they're all talking about this one. Should be very, very interesting. And he talked a little bit about the opposition for the Misfits and Ariya Daivari.
Well, obviously everybody knows Perry Saturn. I mean, WWE, ECW, where he made his name for himself. He was in WCW for a long time himself. Eddie Guerrero, you know, amongst just a couple of the names. But Perry Saturn, Scott Summers, who is, you know, a great technician. And then we've also got Luke Hawx, who is really put together too. So three guys. This should be an excellent six-man tag.
Absolutely. Watch this now. Over the top. Over the top goes Daivari. Big scoop slamming down to the canvas. There's that knee. In for the cover. Count of 1 and 2. Oh. A great, great crowd on hand, ladies and gentlemen. And remember, still to come, Sabu, the wild man himself, is here tonight. The innovator of violence, Tommy Dreamer. Blue Meanie, Al Snow, Adam Pierce. I mean, the list is endless, and that main event, Tornado Tag Team match, all four in the ring at the same time. Anything goes. You've been in the ring with all four of those main eventers. This is hell on earth.
I have been in the ring with all four, and I'll tell you what, that match alone, if you take a look back at the last 25 years of Jerry Lynn's career, Horace the Psychopath, JB Trask, X-Pac, Sean Waltman, and Jerry, these guys have gone round and round many a times.
Summers giving up an awful lot of size. Oh, to big John Johnson. And look at Johnson. Boy, I tell you what, he's the king of the lip service, no doubt about that, but he can back it up. Johnson has proven over and over again he's a mainstay here in this part of the country. He means business. Nothing fancy about John Johnson.
I was around when John Johnson started, and this kid has come a long way. And you know, you take a look at him, he is built. Big suplex right there.
That Summers is a fire plug in the ring. He's built short to the ground, but I tell you what, if there's any body fat on this guy, I don't know where it is. He is just put together like a tank.
He is put together like a tank. When you look back and you look at the guys who maybe aren't as tall as the other guys, I go back to maybe, you know, a day where Brad Ringens, the guy was definitely not the tallest guy out there, but he was built like a tank and you could not move him.
Oh, nice drop kick. Nice drop kick on the part of Luke Hawx and Perry Saturn. Oh, boy, Saturn hasn't lost his edge. Talk about one of the great veterans in professional wrestling in Perry Saturn, and when he heard that there was going to be a retirement, a celebration on behalf of Jerry Lynn, he was one of the first to sign on the dotted line.
He was one of the first of many. You know, we ran down the card. Tommy Dreamer, Blue Meanie, Al Snow, Perry Saturn, X-Pac, you know, Adam Pierce. We've got a handful of our guys who are mainstays in Minnesota, as you said. This is a huge night for not just heavy on wrestling, but for the Minnesota wrestling scene in general.
It is. There's no question about it. You know, I had the opportunity to talk to Jerry Lynn a little bit early on, and Jerry was talking about this is a night for him, very bittersweet. He gets to see so many of his compatriots from back in the day, but also the young guys that he's mentored over the years and are going to be following in his footsteps when he hangs up the tights after tonight.
You know, I had that same chance to talk to Jerry a little bit, and he is a great mentor. You go back, you look at Jerry's career from a technician standpoint, this guy was, I mean, he was flawless. If you wanted to get in there like he did in ECW and go toe-to-toe with Jerry and fight, he could do that too. He's one of the guys who could do absolutely everything and anything possible in the ring.
Champion, oh, look at that. I tell you what, Aaron Corbin, a little pasty white in there. You know, this guy's, his chest and his sternum are getting lit up like a stop sign. There's a forearm shot right to the jaw. Boy, Corbin is in no man's land right now. He's got to get out and make a take either to Ariya Daivari or to Big John Johnson.
I am pretty sure that Corbin has some not only butterflies, but tons of cobwebs going on right now.
No doubt.
I don't think he may not know where he's at.
Again, congratulations are in order, ladies and gentlemen, to Heavy on Wrestling. If you have not heard of Heavy on Wrestling, you will. I mean, they are going to make some huge impact and some huge inroads into the wrestling scene, and of course, their roster of talent that they have. Oh my God! Oh my God! Did he hit the back of his head on the guardrail? He might be out. We might need an ambulance here in the opening match. Good
Karch,
Lord!
Wow. It has been many years since I've seen anything like that. And I'll tell you what, from our vantage point, I mean, he was airborne, 100% airborne on that land.
I don't know how he doesn't break a neck. And look at this. Look at Johnson. Boy, ever the vulture. John Johnson picking the bones of Luke Hawx, who I don't know how in the world he's still in one piece.
I'm not sure either, but now just as we looked at a minute or two ago, Corbin now reverts it over. He's got the advantage. Let's see if he can take control here and get Johnson or Daivari back in there to get a little more on these guys.
You know, Ariya Daivari, of course, the younger brother of the internationally known Sean Daivari, and there are those who would say, and this is, believe me, this is a compliment, that Ariya Daivari has surpassed Sean Daivari in terms of in-ring expertise and skill at this young stage of his career. This kid has everything it takes to become a major player in pro wrestling.
He definitely does. I just saw Sean Daivari running around here somewhere. I think I'm going to pass that message along that you just said that. I'm not sure if I agree with you 100% on that, but this Ariya Daivari, he's one of the guys that, you know, maybe a year, maybe 2 years from now, you're going to see him on the big stage.
And the misfits, John Johnson and Aaron Corbin. The crowd certainly getting into it, imploring Luke Hawx to go make the tag either to Scott Summers or to the veteran Perry Saturn. Look at Daivari, the master of the super kick. I tell you what, you've seen it many times. When this kid uncoils with that boot to the march, it is lights out, and I mean right now.
It is. If he can hit that on one of these guys, you're exactly right. It'll be game over right away.
You look around this facility, Scotty, and I know, you know, it's been a while since you and I called a match together, but it's like old home week. So many, not only of the wrestlers, but the fans, the old dyed-in-the-wool wrestling fans from here in the state of Minnesota, coming out tonight to pay homage to Jerry Lynn.
I don't know how many people I saw just prior to the matches coming in, saying hello, how you doing, well, you know, what have you been up to? It's great to catch up with these people because for years, if it wasn't for these fans, you know, we wouldn't have had any of this.
No question about it. And of course, you and I were both in there from the beginning with Jerry Lynn, going back to those days at George's and Roper's and Fridley, when he was wrestling the likes of the Randy Gustos in the world, and the Whalen brothers and the Derringers and people like that. And of course, that's where he and Sean Waltman actually first got recognized by the Global Wrestling Federation. They took it down south and they tore it up from there.
Well, they tore it up at, like you said, at George's or Roper's or whatever we want to call it today. But when they went to Texas to Global, they took that whole feud to another level. That feud just basically unleashed both of them into this superstardom, into this national stardom that they have today.
In for the cover. Oh, Daivari. Daivari complaining to referee Rob Page about a slow cadence in the count. He thought he had Luke Hawx ready to be had there. Referee Rob Page, you can't ever question the integrity of the Honorable Rob Page. You know what I'm saying?
He's an honest kid. I'll tell you, Rob Page, he's been doing this for a few years now. He knows the insides and out, of the matches. He is not going to let someone pull the wool over his eyes.
Right, absolutely not. Look at the size of John Johnson. I mean, this guy, just raw strength and brute force, but there's that neck breaker. And he's got to make that tag.
Here's the opportunity. He's got that chance. It hasn't been the same after that big landing that he took, Karch. He's got to get over there. He's got to make the tag to one of the other guys.
Scotty, in all the years I've been covering wrestling, I don't remember ever seeing a guy take a spill like that going over the top rope and the back of his head and neck actually just hitting with a splat on that guardrail.
Yeah,
but here
he's got... Oh, Daivari into the turnbuckle. Now this is the opportunity. He's got to reach out. He's got to make the tag.
The crowd certainly behind him. Summers reaching in. Perry Saturn reaching in. There's a tag. And it's the veteran Saturn. Boy, you talk about a guy who's done everything there is to do in wrestling. Look at this now. Saturn setting him up. Oh, no. Oh. That's got to do it. Come on, ref. Count of 1 and 2. No.
Oh, look at Corbin. Corbin was in there. Perry Saturn, he had Daivari on the ropes. He went for that big suplex.
Oh, no. So much for that. That brilliant strategy, Corbin. He's taking a pounding in there now. From Scott Summers. And now, oh, God, from behind. The referee has lost complete control of this one.
And all 6 men, they're in the ring right now. What's going on? Johnson over the top rope.
You got an awful lot of bald heads in that ring, too. It's got to be tough for the referee to maintain some semblance of order and remember who's who in there. Total chaos here, ladies and gentlemen, and this is just your opening match. Here tonight from the Minneapolis Convention Center, so rich in wrestling tradition and history here in the state of Minnesota in the Twin Cities. Used to hold the AWA matches here back in the 1960s. I mean, so this is a magical night.
And Daivari right there, he laid Perry Saturn off. This could be it. He could be going to the top.
Magic carpet ride for Ariya Daivari. He has used this to finish. Oh, nobody there. Saturn able to roll out of the way. Look at Saturn now. Saturn driver. In for the cover. Good night.
What an opener, Mick. What an opening bout. Just fantastic. Perry Saturn getting the win on Daivari right there. Incredible. It's going to be a fantastic night.